Okay, so I'm going to catch you up on some things that has happened and I haven't put in any videos. Back in April, we were out mushroom hunting, and it was towards the end of April. And our neighbor happened to come over where we were, and he lives about, I'd say a mile, or yeah, about a mile down the road. He's in, I think he's almost 80, if not 80. He walked over to talk to us and shot the breeze for a little bit, mostly him and Jim talking. And they were kind of wrapping it up, and I said, have you ever noticed anything weird around here? Like creatures? And he goes, you mean like Sasquatch? And I said, yeah. He said, well, no, I haven't really ever seen any evidence of them. He said, well, I have heard some things. And then he goes, we have seen bears though. We have a lot of bears here. And I was thinking, what? Because we don't have a lot of bears. Over the last, well, Jim's 60. And in those 60 years, he has seen bears once. And his dad saw one at around the same time, once. And that was over the hill that way from our house. It wasn't even around here. But he goes, yeah, we have a lot of bears. He said, we have a peach tree out back, and a bear came and took all the peaches from our tree. They were all gone, like in one night. I was thinking, okay, bears don't strip your peach tree of peaches, but Bigfoots do. And he said, yeah, we could see tracks around from where, it was walking, and my wife saw one running away from the tree. Saw a bear. And I was thinking, yeah, that was most likely a Bigfoot down on all fours. So evidently, he's in denial of what it is, although he said he has heard things. So he's heard some strange sounds, but he's trying to put, I think what they're seeing as Bigfoots as bears. So I didn't try to tell him different, but, it's obvious that they're having some Bigfoot visits there too, because it's a very well-known thing that they'll come and just take all your peaches or apples or something off your tree. So that is the first neighbor that we've ever talked to about it. I thought that was really interesting. David Ellis of the Olympic Project. He's the audio expert. He was checking some of my audio that I had, and there's this one thing that I've been getting over the years, over and over, and I call it a raspberry because it sounds like something going like that. And apparently he's heard this before, and he thinks it's something to keep an eye on. It has something sort of to do with the hum that him and Doug Highchecker keep an eye out for. So anyways, here's some audio that he analyzed, and from I think it was the last time I put some audio out, there was a howl. And he heard something, and not like another howl that he found and thought was really interesting. So here's what he found when he analyzed it. Driving around in our local area, Jim and I have noticed some really odd things along the roadways. One thing that we've noticed are these horizontal logs placed at certain spots where we think that they probably crossed the road. But more recently, we have found, like in the middle of a roadway, hanging from power lines, these sticks, big sticks that have been there, like there's no reason for them to be there. There wasn't like a big windstorm, and it's like they couldn't have gotten there any other way than if they were put there. And they're shaped in like a humanoid shape. You'll see that it looks like they got legs, feet, and arms, and they're put in places that look like if they needed to cross a road, that would be like a sign for them to know where to cross. And the first one I'm going to show you was placed it's above a tree that is in the middle of the highway. Like there's a separation between the two lanes or 4 lanes. And just underneath of that is an old railroad track. And Jim and I have explored that railroad track further down, and we found all kinds of sign of them being back in there. So if you want to look at that video was called Exploring... I'll have to check. Forget the name of it, but I will put the name of it up when I find it. The second one is put on a power line at a place where the woods like just start on each side, like, so that would be an ideal place for them to cross the road also. So see what you think. They're really interesting looking. It's crazy.
People still call them that.
So a couple months ago, I was out here in the yard walking around and, I don't know, gardening or something. There's the house and the garden. So right over here, over the edge of that, there's some brush and a tree and stuff that fell, and we threw it over there. And so I was out here just walking around, and I heard something walking back there that had to be really big and heavy because I heard it step on some of those branches and wood, and it just went crack, crack, crack. So there was a Bigfoot just right on the other side of that brush, and it's pretty cool. Also, there's absolutely no cows there. And it was way too heavy to be a deer, which would be the heaviest thing that we would have back in there. I apologize for not getting a lot of videos out. The arthritis in my knees has gotten to this point of being severe and bone on bone, and it has been excruciatingly painful, clear up into my hips and back and everything. So most of the time all I could concentrate on was just dealing with that. So it's gotten better. I'm going to try to, I got cortisone injections in my knees, and it helps. I'm going to try to stay off my knees and, off my legs. Use a cane and stuff like that to help keep the weight off, so the pain won't get so bad, and I'll be able to make videos. So the activity has slowed down, especially in the month of, like, the end of August and this month, September. It's slowed down quite a bit. I don't know what's going on. It's very upsetting to me because over the last 10 years, it's been my biggest fear is that it would stop. It hasn't stopped, but it has slowed down, and I don't understand why. One thing we think is that back in 2020, when the mama died, see, she would have been the matriarch. We're pretty sure that's what happened. She died because that's what they were telling us with the dolls and all that. And things changed after that. Like, they used to be so vocal, and they'd be up here all the time doing stuff, and it's like they got a new matriarch, and she's changed the rules, and they have to be quiet, and they just aren't up here as much. So that could be what's going on. So yeah, we think, like the matriarch makes the rules, the dad enforces it, the alpha. He takes care of the group like that. So that's our theory on what's going on. It's been 10 years. They grow up, they change, they move on. Like, I think the one that I used to deal with the most here was the mama. And, like, she had it, because there were, like, 14-inch prints around the yard all the time, or 13 and a half. And along with that was a 9-inch for, like, a year or two, and then it grew and it became a 10-inch print. So it's like, I've always felt like that was a male, the juvenile, and the mama were the two that I interacted with the most. He probably moved on. The mama, I think, died, which is so sad. So anyways, things change. So we'll see how things go. It's also been like a super, super hot summer. And it was too hot for me to be outside, so I don't think they like the extreme heat at all. I think they would rather have it cold. Although when it gets extremely cold, they also don't do much. They're not as active. But it has cooled down, and we'll see if things pick up. Another thing I was talking to Jim about, because we both miss, all the activity and the sounds. Because we used to make a fire, and like, I don't know how many times, like at least twice, as soon as we lit the fire, bang, there would be a vocalization come from down in the field. They'd be going, woo! And they'd be up here, and I could hear off in the distance over the hill, they had dogs, and if they weren't here, and I heard those dogs barking, I'd tell Jim, hey, it won't be long and they'll be here because they're coming. And it'd be like, 10 minutes later and they'd be here. And, yeah, we just missed that stuff. But I was telling Jim, we do have Hobo. And we, they brought Hobo here. So we share hobo. We share a pet with them. So in their minds, they might be thinking, that's a huge deal. You know, and that's a constant thing. He comes and goes, comes and goes. So, you know, in their mind, they might be interacting with us quite a bit. So, and it's true. So, yep. But hopefully things will pick up. This is Thursday, July 10th, 10:58 a.m. So, Bigfoots haven't done anything yet this month until today. At least nothing concrete. And so I come out, well actually last night I came out around midnight to check things, and everything was the way that it's been all month. And I brought this thing out as a gift to see if they would like it. It's still there. But what I did notice is that this little bear that's usually sitting here in the tray is now in the slinky. So that means they put it there. Such a little thing, but it makes me so happy. They're still doing stuff. And so another thing I noticed is that Hobo is gone. Now he's been here I think for 2 days. He came back, and the funniest thing is when he came back we were sitting here on this, well actually I think I was up in the garden, Jim was sitting there, and here comes Hobo, I guess. Jim told me. I kind of saw it happening, but I couldn't see details because I was in the garden. But he came this way, came through the, Jim said he meowed as he was coming through the yard, and he got through the railing and got right there and just collapsed. I just went kaplunk. And it was like, oh my God, I'm so tired. He's like, I don't even want to eat or drink or anything. I just want to go to sleep. Poor thing just, he just collapsed. When he comes back from being with him, he is so tired. And that is the absolute most tired we've ever seen him. So then, after a few minutes, he did get up. Jim brought him food out, and he ate and stuff, and he ended up in that chair. It's where he usually goes to rest. And I really did get a cute picture of him. Maybe I'll try to put it in here. But I'm thinking since they came up last night and did that, and he's gone, that they probably picked him up again to take him with them. So I don't know if that's why they came up or if it was a twofold thing. But anyways, that's what's happened, and I'm happy. Okay, Sunday, July 13th, it's 1:50 p.m. I woke up with a headache, so I haven't been out. Well, I came out here a couple minutes ago and found something. But Hobo was gone for a day, I think. He came back around noon. That's when we found him. And I just came out here about 5 minutes ago to check things. And also, look what they did again. You can see that. That bear. They moved it in there face down. Again. So I don't know. It's kind of funny. I'm going to put it back. We'll see if it happens again. Okay. Okay, everything's straightened up now. Whew, it's hot out here. I'm going to have to water again. Flowers are kind of needing it, so. Okay, so it's about 10 after 7, and I came out here to sit on the porch with Jim. And I was out here earlier today, but I don't know if no, I checked this morning, so nothing was different. But guess what? It's in the slinky again. Oh my goodness, so funny. Hobo's not here, is he?
Nope.
Nope. But no Hobo. Okay, well that's different. So this morning I come out here and the bear is not different, but all of the marbles are at one end. And that's never happened the whole time that they've been out here. They barely move, actually. So, I think the Bigfoots did that. Anyhow, that's all I see. It's Sunday, July 20th, 12:14 p.m. I did get up earlier this morning and check things, but I didn't have time to do a video. But, well, yesterday I had a migraine and I was laying down. I slept for quite a long time, and I always close all the curtains and blinds in my room when I do that. And a lot of times when I get up, the Bigfoots will have done something. I don't know if they know I'm not feeling good or what when I do that. And I got up and I kind of had that feeling that they probably did something. Well, I came out and checked and they hadn't done anything, but Hobo was back. So I was thinking, well, maybe they'll still do something. And actually, Jim was sitting out here on the swing, and I had gone back inside. It was getting like, it might have even been dark. But he heard a howl come from down in there somewhere. And we don't hear sounds from them very often anymore, so that was pretty cool. So he said, maybe you should put a recorder out, because he might get some tonight. So I did, and haven't checked it yet. But I get up this morning, Hobo's still here, and I come out, and they did do something during the night. What's missing? The bear. Where's the bear? In the slinky. That's their thing they do now, I guess. So I have no idea why. Or is it like they're trying to put it in a cage? And it's always face down. I don't know, it's crazy. It's Friday, July 25th, 8:07 p.m. Okay, so Jim and I were inside. We ate supper and then we watched a movie. And during the movie he came out and he said, Hobo's back. And I was like, yay! So I said, you know what, I'm going to have to go outside and see if the Bigfoots did anything since he's back. So I waited till the movie was over, which was just a few minutes ago, and I came out and looked, and guess what? The bear in the slinky, face down. Again. So, alright. I'm thinking that either they don't like the bear or they don't think the bear should be in here with the marbles. Since they keep putting it in there face down every time, I'm starting to think they don't like it. So I have to think about what I'm going to do. Move it. There have been things that they haven't liked in the past, and they will keep. There was this crab shell that I brought back from the beach, and it had googly eyes on it, and it had the shape of a man's head, like and body, on its back. They did not like that thing. I'd put it on the railing, and they would move it, or it would be on the ground. They just kept moving it, and it's like they moved it closer to the door, like, please take this thing inside. So I finally did after I figured out they didn't like it. They didn't like the chimpanzee that I had out here. It was kind of a lifelike looking little figurine that I bought. And it kept getting knocked off and stuff. And one day I came out here and it was in the fountain, face down in the water like it was drowned. So I took it inside. So I'm thinking I might take that inside, or actually I might move it out of there to see if that makes any difference. But anyhow, so I learned a couple things today. Once again, hobo returned, so did the Bigfoots at the same time. And definitely, this is the month of the bear. July has been the month of the bear. So that's like about all they've been doing, which is really weird. But anyways, I'm glad they're just doing stuff. So, that's it for now. Something I forgot to mention was that yesterday I watched Hobo journey up the driveway and turn and go down in there, just like he did. We've seen him do it at least 2 other times. So I wondered if he was going to meet his Bigfoots. So that must have been what happened, because he came back and so did they. I was out here earlier today, and this wasn't in here. It could have just fallen in there, but I don't know, caught my attention. So I'm not sure if they put that in there or not. So anyways, just documenting it just in case. So earlier this bear was not laying down like this. It was sitting up, and I was inside most of the day because it's so hot. Came out and it's laying down. First I thought the cats did it, but it's like it's face down and it's up against there. So I think if the cats would have knocked it, it would be at least off, crooked or something. Another thing that I noticed days ago was this leaf. It's actually moved a little bit, but it was in the middle of the chair. And I wondered about it, but I thought, because there are leaves on the floor and stuff, since I found that leaf in the magnetic bowl, now I'm wondering about it. I think I'll take it in. I'll put it in my maybe box and see if they do anything else. I hope so, because I miss them doing things on the front porch.